It started with an obituary, a simple paragraph in the local newspaper, printed in the early hours of October 12, 2017. It read, "Jonathan Graves, aged 38, passed away suddenly in his home. A private funeral will be held for close family and friends." A quiet, unremarkable notice, the kind that appears every day, goes unnoticed by most, and fades into the background. Except for one thing, Jonathan Graves wasn't dead. Chapter 1. The Stranger at the Wake. The funeral took place 3 days later, a small gathering at a chapel on the outskirts of town. His mother wept silently in the front row. His sister clutched at damp tissue in her hands, her eyes hollow with grief. Friends whispered condolences in hushed tones. A priest read solemn words from a worn-out Bible. And then, the doors creaked open. A man walked in, dressed in a black suit, his collar slightly rumpled, his face partially hidden beneath the shadow of a fedora. He moved slowly, deliberately, stepping past the mourners, each footstep echoing against the cold marble floor. Nobody turned to look. Nobody questioned his presence. He stood by the casket, staring down at the closed lid, his expression unreadable. He reached out, fingers grazing the polished wood, then stepped back and melted into the crowd. Later, when the service ended and the mourners trickled out into the overcast afternoon, his sister turned to his mother and asked, "Who was that man?" His mother frowned. "What man?" "The one in the black suit. He was standing by the casket." Her mother shook her head, eyes blank with confusion. There was no one there. Chapter 2. The Impossible Sightings. The first time someone saw him, it was dismissed as grief-induced paranoia, a trick of the mind, a desperate attempt to hold on to a loved one who was gone too soon. But then it happened again. A week after the funeral, Jonathan's best friend, Mark, received a phone call. The number was unknown, the voice on the other end unmistakable. "Mark, it's me." Mark's heart pounded in his chest. "Who is this?" A pause. Then quietly, "It's Jonathan." The line went dead. 3 days later, a woman swore she saw him at the gas station. He was filling up his car, the same black Chevy he had driven for years. When she called out his name, he turned to look at her, and then he vanished. Chapter 3. The Breaking Point. His sister, Emily, couldn't take it anymore. She dug through his belongings, looking for anything, an explanation, a sign that he had faked his death, some kind of rational answer. She even convinced the authorities to exhume his body, an act that made her mother sob uncontrollably and his best friend shake his head in disbelief. The casket was empty. No body, no remains, nothing. It was as if Jonathan Graves had never died. Chapter 4. The Hidden Truth. Desperate, Emily retraced her brother's steps in the weeks leading up to his supposed death. His bank records showed transactions from 3 days after he was declared deceased. His apartment had been cleared out, but his landlord swore he had seen him a week prior. Then, she found the notebook, buried beneath piles of paperwork in a storage unit he had rented months before his disappearance. Pages filled with frantic handwriting, detailing a fear that crept into his bones. "They are watching me. I don't know what I did, but they won't let me live. If something happens to me, know this. I never died." Emily's breath hitched as she turned the last page. A single phrase, written over and over in black ink. "I will come back." Chapter 5. The Last Encounter. Months passed. The sightings became less frequent. The calls stopped. The whispers faded. And then, on the 1-year anniversary of his funeral, Emily woke up in the middle of the night to a soft knock at her door. She hesitated, heart racing, before slowly turning the handle. A man stood in the dim hallway, his face partially obscured by shadows. His voice was barely a whisper. "Emily, it's me." She gasped, stepping back. "Jonathan." He looked the same. Not a day older, not a hint of decay, just as she remembered him. Her voice trembled. "Where have you been?" His eyes darted past her, down the hallway, as if he was afraid someone would hear. "They never let me die," he whispered. "And now, they're coming for you." And just like that, he was gone. Final question for the audience. What do you think happened to Jonathan Graves? Was it a case of mistaken identity, a government experiment, or something even darker lurking beyond our understanding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, if you dare.